Unboxing and review of the POGOLAB travel cajon. As usual, in the weeks running up to Christmas, I'll be reviewing some cheap or cheapish items that are ideal presents for the person in your life who's into their musical instruments. And a cajon is the kind of instrument any musician would find useful. And a travel cajon is really practical because it's easy to carry around and it's really easy to store. For those of you who know nothing about the cajon, here's just a very brief history. Cajon is spelt C-A-J-O-N, but it's pronounced cajon because it's a Spanish word. So the J is dropped and you can replace it with a H. And it was originally developed in South America, and to be more accurate, in Peru. And the idea was originally invented by slaves who played tea chests. And over time, the sound of the cajon changed and developed. For example, the tea chests would split, and this would give them a kind of a snare sound. Modern cajons have come a long way. Even the low-end ones have compartmentized sections for different sounds and adjustable snares. And the high-end ones even have electronic effects and synthesis. So the cajon has come a long way from its roots in South American and Latino music, and you can find it in virtually any genre these days. The one we'll be looking at today is a travel cajon, which means it's smaller than a full-size cajon, making it easier to travel with and easier to store. Here's the product listing on Amazon. However, I'm not going to go through this in any detail in this video, but I will put the link down below in the description, so you can take a look for yourself if you want to. But here's the title of the Amazon listing. POGOLAB Cajon Drum Box with Snare and Bass Tone for Acoustic Music. Portable Travel Cajon Beatbox Drum with Adjustable Strap for Home and Outdoor Use. Acoustic Percussion Instrument. Natural Brown. I'm not sure if the title tells us too much or nothing at all, because they're clearly trying to capture all the keywords. However, the pictures give us a good idea of what we're going to be looking at. As normally happens with items from Amazon, it was here in a couple of days. The unboxing. The cajon arrived in the usual style box you get from Amazon, and it shows no signs of being knocked about or anything. As usual, I'll speed up some of the more boring unboxing parts just to make the video more watchable. Inside the Amazon box is another plain brown box. I'm assuming this has got the cajon in it, and if it has, you definitely need to wrap this up if it was going as a present, because it's pretty uninspiring. And sure enough, the cajon and strap are inside the inner box, which I have to say is very robust and really protects the instrument well. I'll just remove the plastic bags so we can take a proper look at what we've got. And there you have them, the cajon and the strap. The cajon looks really nice, and the strap is just your standard strap. Let's take a good look at the cajon first. The whole instrument is finished in a matte lacquer, which is very smooth to the touch. And the playing surface is open grain, so this isn't quite as smooth as the sides. However, all the edges are really rounded and really smooth. Around the edge of the playing surface, there's a very fine binding. And this is to make sure that all the edges are very smooth to the touch. The playing surface has got a really cool graphic on it, with like a tree and its roots. And of course the POGOLAB logo. and I've no idea what wood it is, but it's got nice grain to it. And aesthetically, this thing is outstanding, I think. You could put this on a shelf or hang it on your wall and never actually play it because it just looks good. I think the reason it looks good is a combination of the graphic, the shape, and the fact that it's so well finished. You can see that from a distance. On the other hand, the back of the instrument is just the back of the instrument. It's just bare wood. However, even there, all the edges are beautifully rounded off, so there's no way you could get a splinter or cut yourself on this. In fact, it's so smooth and well finished, I'd say you could probably give this to younger kids, and there's virtually no way they could hurt themselves on it. Years ago, I'd show world instruments to kids at primary school age to try to build their interest in music. And then I would have loved to have had a couple of these. Looking at either side of the Cajon, it's got well-fitted, sturdy instrument strap buttons, and on the top it's got a smaller sound hole, and on the bottom it's got a larger sound hole, and if you look inside you can see it's got a snare spring. The strap that comes with it is a cloth type with faux leather on either side where it attaches to the instrument, and it's fully adjustable, and it attaches really strongly to the Cajon itself so that it can hold it safely. In the Amazon listing it says the strap goes from 68 centimeters to 120 centimeters, and I've got no reason to doubt this, so I'm not going to measure it. The great thing about a Cajon is it's basically pick up and play. You don't have to tune it or mess around with it before you can get started. You just pick it up and start playing. Because of this, you don't need a great many accessories, so just having a strap is fine. But it would be nice to have a bag, as it is a travel Cajon, and I think this is the only improvement they could possibly make straight out of the box. Right, let's see how it sounds. Sound tests. Before I get into the sound tests, I'll warn you, I'm no Cajon expert. However, I will give you my honest opinion of the sound as a professional musician. The first thing I've noticed on the listing that talks about the sound is the fact that they've described it as having two different tones. The top of the instrument has a deep and vigorous tone, and the bottom is loud and clear, and the bottom is where you'll also find the snare. But I think they're underselling the Cajon really by saying this, because you can vary the tone quite a lot by where you strike it on the play surface, like this. Also, you can change the sound depending on how you hit the Cajon. If you hit it and leave your hand in place, it mutes the tone, whereas if you hit it and retract the hand, it'll ring on, like this. As if that isn't enough in variation of sound, you can also change the sound by putting your hand over the holes. As a real world test, I thought I'd try replacing the percussion tracks on some music I'd written that's on a medieval theme. So first you'll hear the original soundtrack, then with the Cajon, then just the Cajon, and then the Cajon with reverb, so it matches the ambience of the original track more closely. And here's the second test. To me, it sounds really nice, and that's even with my level of playing. However, I do really need to spend a lot more time working out the best way to record it. Something I did notice though, is that the snare is a bit weak, so you have to hit the cajon quite hard to get a snare sound. Here's some more simple tests, but remember, I'm no cajon player. My conclusion. First, I have to mention the build quality, which is absolutely excellent. There's no nasty joints, no splurges of glue, and the whole thing is finished beautifully. And every corner has been rounded off, so the thing's completely smooth. And as I've said earlier, I'd consider it safe to give to kids. The design and the graphic is really nice as well, so it wouldn't look out of place as an ornament on a shelf or on the wall, because it's so well finished. As an instrument, it's really good fun, and it's really quite easy to play, just basically. So you could get it out of the box and knock together a basic rhythm straight away. But if you wanted to take it to the next level, you could probably spend months or years learning new rhythms and new techniques, and that would be just off YouTube videos. As a cajon, it's obviously nowhere near as rich and deep as a full-size cajon, and there's considerably less playing area, so there's less movement to change the tone in. However, it really produces some volume. When recording it, I had to take my banjo out of the room because it was vibrating that much with the sound of the cajon. So, in a room full of people singing and guitars and other instruments, it would hold its own. You'd be able to hear it above the rest of the noise. But the downside to this is when you're practicing in your room, other people will be able to hear you practicing, even if you play fairly softly. Price range. This is low to mid-range. However, the build quality is nowhere near low to mid-range. It's very high-end build quality. And the unique look and design, I think, sets it way above the competition. Before this review, I'd never heard of POGOLAB, but I'm going to keep my eye open for them in the future. I've put the link down below in the description to the Amazon listing, so you can take a look at it if you're interested. And you can also buy it from the Legato website. Of course, Legato, I've also reviewed stuff of theirs before in the past. And just to be completely clear, I've got no connection with Legato or with POGOLAB, and I don't get paid any commission. And that's it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please click on the like button, and if you haven't already, please like, subscribe and hit the bell icon, and then you'll be notified when I upload new videos. And in a few months' time, I'll probably do an update to this video when I've learned how to play it properly. If you're interested in learning how to play the guitar, or if you already play the guitar, you'll find lots of free lessons on my YouTube channel, and I organise them into playlists because they're complete professionally written courses. And you can download the PDFs for all the courses at www.ebooks4guitar.com. And at the moment you can still get the GCH Guitar Academy Fingerstyle Guitar course, Book 1 and Book 2, completely free. Thanks again for watching.